Well, I want to do some hydraulic line work, and unfortunately I need the bucket up to do it. So, this connection, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the procedure to relieve the pressure on the hydraulic lines, and then I have to raise the cab, and hopefully I can do it with this up and just the safety engaged. So, we'll see.
So I followed the instructions in the manual on how to relieve the hydraulic pressure, and this is done with the engine completely off. So I have what I think is kind of a healthy fear of the hydraulic system maybe still having some pressure in it. So I wanted to break this hydraulic line loose and then wiggle the back of it, so if the seal is stuck for any reason, this would break it loose and make sure that if there was any pressure, it would shoot out the side of this connector and not come shooting off when I broke it completely free.
Mostly trying to protect the cables, the electrical cables that I just dumped hydraulic fluid all over. So that was good, well done, buddy.
So for the next few minutes I was trying to figure out how I could get this hydraulic hose off. So you see here I'm trying to use something called crow's feet, and it's just the end of a wrench where you can put a socket extension on there and try to get into tight places. But still, these were too big to make this work. And I didn't see an easy solution right away, so I decided to move on and tackle this a little bit later. As you can see, these bolts were really stuck on here. They needed more power!
Moving.
There we go. Ready?
Yeah. There we go.
One thing that's easy to overlook that I almost forgot to do is to make sure to mark all of these lines when they come off. They all look very similar and you could easily mix up and reconnect the wrong lines.
Sounds like you got it.
Why? Thank you for these wrenches for Christmas.
Oh, you're welcome. It's almost like I am a good wife. It was nice to you.
You knew exactly what I needed.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
You okay?
Yeah. Fine. Oh.
That good, huh?
Feels awesome. Tastes great. Let's go.
That's not the right one.
Oh, son of a... It's this one.
Why did you take the stuff off that you didn't need to?
Unfortunately, I traced the wrong hose the first time and pulled it off. Luckily, that was not that big a deal because the hose had to come off anyways to get to the correct hose underneath. So I wanted to take a quick moment to talk about why I'm replacing this line. Unfortunately, I didn't catch a great video or picture of the failure. As you can kind of see here, the edge of this is kind of bubbled and it felt like a blister, so there was fluid just underneath the fabric layer of this hose, which meant that it was gonna fail here. I just didn't know when, and that's why I wanted to replace it.
Oh god, it's everywhere. Oh god. Oh.
Oh. Okay, just pull your end up. Put your end up. There. See? Now I can contain some of it.
One thing that Colleen is trying to show you right here is that even these O-rings have a laser engraved part number on them. It's one of the reasons why I love cat parts.
I was about to cut this wrench down when I decided that I think that I could roll it over the hose and
get access to that impossible
To
access.
this one.
So, oh my god.
Yes.
And what is the reason for replacing that hose?
It was wearing on the cab, and there are some chunks that have been taken out of it. Just a quick note, it is important when you replace these hoses that you also replace the O-rings. They're only a few cents, and it's really easy to do as long as you remember to order them with the new hoses. I think everything has been replaced successfully. I didn't have one new O-ring for this one, so that kind of bums me out. Also, I need to close this cap, make sure this doesn't rub on any of the above, which is what I was doing before. It rubs. Bummer. Luckily, this was a pretty simple fix. I just used a large zip tie to pull the hose down to the other hose, and then wrap both the hoses in this abrasion-resistant tubing. Alright, so now that I got all the lines back on, I've sprayed it with some degreaser. I want to try to get all the hydraulic fluid out before I finish zip tying everything down. And maybe start it up, move it around to make sure none of the lines are leaking. If you have watched any of my previous videos, you know I wasn't about to just put these rusted pieces back on. So let's do my least favorite thing and get these primed and painted. So it turns out I got a little too eager while painting these, and I turned them over and painted the other side before the other side had fully cured, and it left me with these nasty indents when the paint had fully dried. So I took them to the kitchen sink, did a bit of wet sanding, and then painted them again. That's better. I noticed that some of these hoses in the bottom were starting to rub on themselves and cause a little bit of damage, so before it got too much worse, I decided to take this opportunity to also wrap them in anti-abrasion plastic as well. Well, that knocks a few more things off the list, so thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Oh my god, I hope people tune in for the comedy of it.
Got it! Oh, it wasn't rolling. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know how to release it. Oh. How do you release it? Is there like a latch, like a hood? Half of a thread. And now, oh! Oh! Ew!
Ew!
Ew! Okay. Do I have to help you anymore?
Yeah.
I don't want to help you anymore. Ah! What do
Enough.
you do on your weekends with your partner and your family? Do you go to the park with the dog? Do you go shopping? That is the answer that most people would answer.